In this last video, what I'm going to do is cover how to set up a series of views that kind of show off the modeling that we've done now that we've finished all the structural components and subassemblies in the model. And so let's start with the ground and work our way up. So we'll just start with the foundation. And you can see here I already created a foundation plan. So what we'll end up with is going to look something like this. Okay, with some notation on here of different components. Uh, and so this is what I want your view to eventually look like. Uh, so let's go through and create it. I'm just going to start with the top of the stem wall. Since the foundation includes the footings, the stem wall, the beams, the piers, and the pier footings, we're going to kind of get rid of all the other stuff. And so let's duplicate with detailing. And so we've got, of course, we've got walls here, and we got the plywood that's covering things up and all that. So we want to get rid of a fair bit of that. Um, so let's do that. We're going to get rid of, probably the easiest way to do that is to do that through view range. Okay, so I'm going to go into edit and view range. And this, the top of the stem wall, you can see right here is the level that the cut plane is on. I'm going to drop that cut plane down to a -4 inches so that it's falling below into the stem wall, right? If we look at a wall section, oops, not a building section, a wall section. Okay, what I've done is I've said from here, which is the top of the stem wall, make the cut at 4 inches below that. And so all of this above it has been hidden or removed, not removed, but hidden. Okay, so let's go back to our copy of our stem wall here. And I should rename this before I go much farther so I don't get lost. So I'm going to rename this, and since it's the second version of the same thing, I'm just going to say 2A foundation plan. Okay, and now it's been put up here right under the number 2. The next thing is I'm going to get rid of the topo. I don't need that in this view. I don't need this building section, so I'm going to hide it as an element. So I've got my footings. I may have gone too far. I'm missing, maybe my depth is too far because I'm missing my beams here. -5, 3 foot above. Let's go 2 inches instead here. There we go. That brought, made the cut too deep and it got rid of my beams. So I raised it up a little bit so that the beams would appear because we want the beams to appear. The other thing, let's see, that looks about right. I already had a few dimensions in here. I really don't need, well, I'd want all those dimensions. I'd want the overall dimensions. I'd want these dimensions, though I'm going to have to move them. Well, it's not going to move. Okay. Well, I'm going to just delete them and then I'll put the dimensions back in and show you how to do dimensions. So I'm going to go into annotation, aligned dimensions, or there's a quick key right up here or a quick button, but we're going to go into align. And then I want a series of dimensions, so I'm just going to click. Whoops, clicked on the wrong line. I hit escape to get rid. So I'm going to click here, 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 and here. That'll give me my 7 feet. And then I'm just going to click out where there's no objects to click to. And then I'm going to click an overall dimension from here to here. Okay. And so now so we got the 28 feet, we got the 48 feet there. We've got our grid lines, which is what we're going to need install those things. I'm going to keep these wall sections. I'm looking to see if there's anything else we really need. We've got our stem wall here. Let's look at we've got our stem wall, okay? And then we have our footing, which is, we're able to see that too. So that's good. Then the next thing we would do is go in and label this in the ways we want. Notice I also included the 6 feet here, and uh, probably do that same thing there, so that who's so that we know that uh, the building needs to be off of the property line 6 feet at the edge of that stem wall. Okay, and so then the next thing we want to do is add all of the lettering uh, and annotation. Uh, these annotations right here are the things you need to add. I'm just going to add one of them just so you can see how it's done, and then you should be able to do the others. So I'm going to go in and add text, 330 seconds. So let's do that. Oh, it's got a leader on it. Uh, I selected leader. I'm going to escape that, go annotation, text, and just select text. Okay, and we'll just type this in. This is 2 by 6 wood beams. If you remember, we used 2 by 6s together to create that beam there. So I called it out as 2 by 6 wood beams. And then the next thing I'm going to do is select that and then add a series of leaders. Add a leader to one side and then add a leader to the other side. Okay, so now I have a leader on both sides, and I'm going to now pick this up and point it. Okay, and pick this up and point it there. Okay, so, and that's just how you add text. Notice I used here, when I went into text, I used 330 seconds. That means whatever I printed out, and it doesn't matter the scale, it will always print out at 330 seconds. Revit will scale it. Okay, I'm going to end this video just to make it short. Uh, and then I'm going to do a series of other videos to show you how to create the other views.